Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 16 Bitchin' podcast. And today's one is a unique one. But it probably won't be unique for long because I intend to do this shit again. We have a guest, but it's the first reoccurring guest. It is Bill Thorpe from Games Made of Cardboard.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Hello, Sega Head.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good, man. How are you doing?
Wonderful. And we got you here today because last time we spoke, instead of covering 3 games, we ended up chatting about a certain topic. The topic at that time was YouTube, the state of YouTube, what it's like to be a YouTuber, etc. We thought it'd be fun to chat again, but about different topics. Although it wouldn't surprise me if we talk about other things around YouTube again in the future, or maybe it'll merge into other shit because we can't help ourselves. When we start chatting, you got to point a gun at us to shut us up.
I'm confident in this one we can get the point across of what we're trying to talk about in this one. I'm pretty sure we'll do a good job.
I hope so. So today we are going to be covering a topic that's it's based on opinion. It's different depending where you live in the world, really, what with the state of prices and everything, really, more than anything. We are going to be covering game collecting in all of the categories that relate to it in any way we can think of. Now, I've been a game collector my whole life, but it wasn't until I really, like when I got with my wife, Charlie, then I started knuckling down and buying more games, because at first it was whatever games I got, I would keep hold of them. So, you know, when everyone's on their DS, I still had my old Game Boy games. When everyone's on PS3, I still had my old PS1 games. But when I got with my wife, I started looking back and started buying old games again, rather than new games and just keeping them until they became old, you know. So that's me in a nutshell. But you've been different. You've had a collection. You've sold a collection. And how many times have you done that?
Well, I've done it from when I first had the games, when I owned them as a kid. Then I think get this, I think my mum threw them all away.
Oh, I hate your mum.
I know, so bad. Isn't it? To think of that now, when we're so like dedicated video game collecting, to know these games like Zelda and Secret of Mana in the flipping trash, thrown away. I've still got my old NES. That's amazing. I love it. It's fantastic.
You're very lucky for that, yeah.
Yeah, but to know like all my Super Nintendo, 32X, everything thrown away. That's a hard pill to swallow. I have trouble looking at my mum in the eye to this day. But video game collecting for me, yes, all that stuff disappeared from a kid stage, and then into adulthood, I collected. Kind of felt guilty that I've got all this stuff that I never play, and then I sold it all. And then the mini consoles came back. The mini consoles came in. I was like, great, I've got the mini consoles, can use those. Now I don't feel so guilty that I've got all these games that other people could be playing, that maybe I can get them back again, because there's so many different ways to play games now, to play retro games. I don't feel too bad having like a pristine copy of Zelda or something.
So you sold yours, right, the first time your mum got rid of them. And the funny thing is, my mum sold my first Master System games. Every so often, I'll say, I still remember you did that. I haven't forgiven you yet, you know. And she's like, I didn't sell him, your dad did. I'm like, yeah, well, he says you sold them. And to be fair, he hasn't got the brain power to think, I'll sell that. It's not in his nature. So I blame her. But anyway, the second time you sold them because out of a sense of guilt, you felt it was
not really as such. It's kind of more like I've got these mini consoles now, or sort of like I think it was kind of like I've got the mini consoles. I can play these games whenever I want. I don't need the ones in cartridges. I can just get rid of those and give them to a person that wants to collect them. But like I said, as time went on, I felt the need to get them back, because there's something about holding a box. There's something about looking through the manual. There's something about having a copy of a game that you once had, and had it of how it was when you had it as a kid. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to just having like a a retro Pi or a hacked Super Nintendo Mini of all the games on. There's just something about having the box of how you had it back in the day. You know?
Oh yeah, it is tough to develop how do I put it? Some sort of emotional bond to something that has no physical presence. I think it will be the same with music in the future. Like,
Yeah.
I've got my old CDs of my favorite band, Fear Factory. I can pick up the CD. I can look at the artwork, look through the booklet, look at the print on the CD, all that cool stuff. But kids today, it's like, I've got the digital album. I've got
Yeah.
maybe a bit of nostalgia for the artwork, but that's it. There's no feel. There's no tactile feel to it.
You're absolutely right. I mean, I like to collect this stuff as well because, like you say, like tangible media is all just disappearing now. Like maybe when the PS6 comes out. I mean, I know with the PS5. I mean, I'm no good with modern gaming, by the way, Tom. But you have like the PS5 with the CD drive, and then there's also the one that is just based on downloadable. Is that right? Have I got it right?
Yeah, that's the scary thing. Like, there was talk of it in the past, and I'm having a brain fart, but I'm pretty sure Xbox did one that was a digital only console. And then with this generation, when the new PlayStation came out, instantly out the door, you can have the one with the disc drive or the one that's digital. It's like, oh, we're doing that straight away.
Yeah.
Shit, that's a big step.
So when PS6 comes out, I reckon that's it. It's going to be all just a big hub, like an internet router, just sitting in your house, just collecting dust and just
I reckon the digital one for when PS6 is a thing. I reckon it'll be digital first, then months later we'll get the disc drive one, or maybe the disc drive thing will be an attachment. It won't even be its own console. Maybe Sony will just think there's no point putting money into this.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, the thing is, I love collecting things. Like, I mean, I sold it all before, but I kind of like really got the bug now. I've really got it. Whereas, kind of like, I went down to CEX today actually and picked up a copy of Mario 64. So that was quite cool. It's just nice to sort of like get this stuff back in my hands again, hopefully for the last time.
While we're on the talk of you in CEX, my friend Rob, people would have heard him on here before, I think, called Comic Rob. He's been to the car boot with me and Bill before, car boot sale. And he said he saw your most recent video and you sold a copy of Pokemon Red, didn't you?
Yeah, well, they wouldn't take it.
They wouldn't take it.
They wouldn't take it. You can have it if you like, Tom. I've got no need for it. But yeah.
He told me you saw. I admit, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen the video. Yes, boo me. But Rob said you went in there with a bunch of Game Boy games. They didn't take Red. Why would they not take Red?
I think they said it was corrosion on the thing, but I cleaned it off when I got home, and it wasn't. It was just
bollocks. Junk. That could have been cleaned easy.
So you're welcome to it if you want it, Tom.
I will happily have it, but I would honestly happily have it to pass it on to Rob because he was gutted. He was like, I'd have bought it off of him. Fuck.
Oh, right. Well, there you go. It's Rob. It's yours. You can take it with pride. There you go. The label's a bit ripped, but you can print another one out.
Honestly, he was saying he didn't give a flying fuck. He would have happily had that game. So
it's his. There you go, Rob.
That's really cool of you, mate. Thank you. That's a thank you from him, of course. It is another funny thing. I was going to tell Bill this earlier before, because I'll end up repeating it in the podcast. I went to the car boot sale today. And I found there was so many more cars today, Bill. There was so many more people selling stuff. And I found dick. Absolutely nothing. I got maybe 3 DS games, and I only got them because they looked really obscure. I thought, fuck it. And I found a Master System controller that at first a guy wouldn't sell me because it was plugged into a Mega Drive, and he was convinced, saying, no, I can't sell you that controller. It comes with this console. No, it doesn't, mate. But I said, it doesn't fit. I said, you could put in a fucking Commodore 64 controller. It'll fit there, but it ain't no bloody good. It might work, but it's got the wrong amount of buttons. I was trying to convince him because on the Master System controller, it says Sega. On the Mega Drive console, it says Sega. So this twat put 2 and 2 together and ended up with 5. He eventually sold it to me, but it was like, I failed miserably today. But Rob, in case anyone couldn't figure out from the name, Comic Rob, he collects comics, mainly Marvel, but he'll buy pretty much anything. He got so much today, so much stuff. And I was joking with him saying, is your bag heavy? Hey, does it hurt? Good. And then he comes up to me and says, you you were talking about my bag being heavy. Well, yeah. He says, it's broken. Oh, shit. The arm strap had gone from it carrying too much weight.
My God.
But yeah, we bought a rucksack while we were at the car boot sale as well.
I'll tell you what, that car boot sale is really good. But there's an interesting thing about car boot sales, actually. I used to go down there as a kid, and it's where I get all my Super Nintendo games from. There used to be them laid out. It would have been a heaven for you today if it was like it was when back in the 90s.
Yeah.
But they were just everywhere. Super Nintendo games, Mega Drive, everything, everywhere. But is this just is it actually the fact that kind of like people aren't selling games at car boots because they've realised they've got gold in the attic and they're going to eBay now to try and bump the prices up, or is it the fact that time is just evolving? Because when I used to go to jumble sales and car boot sales, you'd find stuff from like the 50s and 60s. It was only the 1980s, 90s. So like it's not that much of a huge gap. Whereas now trying to find stuff from the 80s when it's now 2022 is kind of maybe a little bit more hard, as opposed to stuff just not being there because people were buying it up and this sort of thing. I don't know.
I would say it's more leaning towards it being a realization in the value of these things. I mean, it's fucking everywhere. It's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's even on just some Google News things. And people are like, there's all these damn adverts popping up. Go to your loft. You might have a game worth this, that, and the other. So a lot of people go to the loft. They think, oh, I haven't. Like,
yeah,
well, what have I got? I got this. What's that worth? Oh, shit. And then they'll go to the car boot. Yeah. And what really winds me up is when people says, this game here is 25 quid. You know, fuck off, mate. It's half chewed. I'll give you a $5 for it. Like, no, it's 25 quid on eBay. Well, go to fucking eBay then.
Yeah, there was this article in the Guardian, I think you probably seen it, and they were talking about kind of like video game prices and check your loft because there's gold in the attic sort of thing.
Yeah, that's
they put like the prices, the estimated price of a Game Boy, and it was like 50 grand, and I was like, oh come on, guys,
how much?
Well, they're bullshitting. They're just trying to make hype. You know, never believe a newspaper, but you know, yeah. It's getting harder and harder to get games. Super Metroid, Castlevania 4.
You really want Metroid right now, don't you? That's your next big hit.
I really want it, because the reason I want it so badly is because I reckon it's going to go up in price even more. So that is on the top of my things to find at the moment. It's Castlevania 4, Mega Man X, and Super Metroid. Because give it 2 years to find a game that's in good condition in the box of the manual and everything like that, it's going to be near enough flipping impossible. It's going to be so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Metroid was like 150 quid when I bought it 2 years ago. It's like on eBay, 300. And I think one even sold for like 450 quid. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, it's crazy.
Every console has its list of games that are like the how do we put it?
The premium.
The premium, the gold star stuff. Like here's one, since I'm more familiar with Master System stuff. There's this one game I would love to get, but its playability would be limited. It's called Mahjong. It's so rare, there's only ever 2 copies on eBay, and they're both loose cartridges, and they're both in a shitty state. Right? They've been there for months because they've set the price so high. These people knowing that they're the only ones that have this, so they can set their own price. £200 for this chewed up cartridge that these 2 random people have. Neither of them will back down and lower. I've given them fairish offers. One of them I even said, look, I'll give you 90. That's more than I would spend on any other fucking game, really. But your price is too high. And he's gone, no, this will sell. It won't sell, mate. I saw you here 6 months ago. And he'll be there another 6 months. Because people are so stubborn on what they think something's worth.
Yeah. And this is a very, very controversial thing to say, Tom, but these games do not last forever. They don't.
No, they will die and they will break and then they're gone. That's it.
I mean, CDs are quicker. Cartridges take a lot longer. They take about 50 years. So
yes.
We got like 20 years left before they start failing.
Well, with care and this is a good thing about some cartridge games. This is where I think Sega has one up over on Nintendo's, because their cases were plastic. People didn't throw them away. So they've spent more of their lives in their original plastic. They're more protected against elements, air, moisture. Nintendo came in fucking cardboard. I'm gutted because I collect Game Boy. I love Game Boy. it's a cardboard box, so most people threw them away. And even if you had them, it's cardboard. It's not a brilliant defense, you know. So I think
get the old
most
drive
Nintendo
one.
cartridges will die before your Master System or your Mega Drive.
Yeah, although we do have the plastic box protectors now for Super Nintendo stuff. Maybe that's going to help it a little bit.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I've only got one Super Nintendo game in one of them plastic
Oh, I know the one.
box
I know
ones.
the one.
Oh, do you? What one's that?
Is Zombies Ate My Neighbors the one I
It
gave you?
is Zombies Hate My Neighbors. Yeah.
That came
I
from
was going
me.
to see if you remembered. Yeah, I got that off you. It's boxed. I believe the booklet and all the gubbins is in there
Oh
with
yeah,
the
it'll
cartridge.
be there. Yeah.
You know, do you know what you sold it to me for?
Oh, probably nothing.
You sold it to me for 20 quid.
20 quid. That's not too bad, is it? That's
Well,
better than it was. I think it goes for like 50 now, I think. I was always pretty fair with my prices, Tom, I have to admit.
would you like to know the cost of, it's called Zombies, by the way, everyone. In Zombies, sorry, in America, it's called Zombies Ain't My Neighbors. In Europe, PAL territory, it was just called Zombies.
Do you know what that is?
No.
I think it's because of censorship. I think they thought that kids were going to go around eating their neighbours after playing it.
Well, that's
I think it's due to censorship. I'm not 100%, but like I think Nintendo are just trying to be extra careful.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's either that or maybe it's linked to a European zombie film of a similar name. And they thought, I'm not getting copyrighted on that. This one's just called Zombies. Generic term. You can't sue someone for the title Zombies. It's too generic. It's too widely used. But yeah, anyway, so you sold your one to me, box, game,
it was good condition as well. It was good.
It was very good condition, yeah. And at 20 quid. Would you like to know what eBay is currently selling them for? I'm going to go by the two most expensive ones I see right now.
Well, Tom, and I'm an idiot because I've already been looking and I've already been putting bids down. That's such an idiot I am. So how much are we looking at?
There's one for £145.
Okay.
There's one for 130. There's one, where did I see it? There's one for 80, but it's a wankier condition. It does look like it's been thrown down some stairs.
I swear I looked at this the other day and they were like going for like 20, 30 quid.
Oh, the loose cartridges are.
Oh, the loose cartridge. Okay.
Loose cartridge is anywhere between 25 to 35. There's one there for 50, but there's one right above it for 35, and there's no fucking difference between the two.
Jesus. I tell you, it's a cool looking box though, isn't it?
It is a very cool looking box. This is stupid. Someone says, Zombies Ate My Neighbors SNES cartridge, NTSC. No, it's not. That's a PAL cartridge. It's completely recognizable. What's wrong with you?
Well, unless it's a Famicom. What's Famicom?
JNTSC.
Yeah,
I think the artwork's still normally different. Funny thing is, here's the thing collection-wise. There's a game we only ever got over here on DS. It's called Chrono Trigger, but it was a big game in Japan. It was a big game in America. We never got it on the Super Nintendo.
We didn't get it.
Which would have been the prime time to get it. Thanks to Tom of Do You Nerd, he got me, I'll show Bill, no one else can see it, a Chrono Trigger Japanese cart. So I own the game. Officially, this is the game. It's just it's fucking Japanese. But
nice.
That's part of the collection now.
What was it? I was going to say, like Earthbound. I mean, I've got that on the Super Nintendo Mini, so I'm happy with that. But getting that game, my God! I mean,
you nearly bought it once on a live stream. You nearly splurged.
Did I nearly do that?
I'll never forget. I was in the chat going, "Don't buy it! It's stupid fucking money. You don't need it."
I think it was like 300 quid at the time, loose. God knows what it goes for now. I have no idea what it goes for now.
I'll have a look, but this will be from the perspective of British eBay. I'm not going to fuck around.
Do one that's boxed with a manual.
Let's see what we can find. And while I'm searching for that, you know what? I won't have to search long because mainly because we didn't get it over here. It's all fake cartridges. Oh my God, Jesus fuck. No, wait.
Like, what is it?
Here is another example. As you saw with the Zombies one, people make up their own prices.
Yeah.
And they don't focus on each other. They hope for a sucker to come along and buy it right away. There is one copy here. It might be missing the booklet. I can't see evidence of the booklet. It's going for, not including postage, £576.
Do you know? I thought it'd been more. Is that in the box? Is it?
That's with the box booklet. I can't see evidence of it, but there's another one here, and it has this one here has 10 people watching, so some cunts are considering it. This one goes for £1,000 more. It's 1,537 quid.
That's the markup I would expect it to be at.
That's insane. I mean, the
It's
game
mad,
is easier to play nowadays than ever. I think it's even on the Switch digital, not store, but that thing where you can go and play Super Nintendo games for free if you've got online membership. So I could play Earthbound in several places for next to fuck all now. And yet,
I think sometimes
this.
I think sometimes we get overwashed with the sort of like the tangible qualities of these games and forget about what they were like to play. And then we play them. Oh, yeah, this is what I was spending all that money on. It's like Color a Dinosaur for the NES. It's like why? I mean, I know you want to be, we want to complete a set of games and stuff, but it's maybe not leave that one out.
Yeah, maybe get that one a fucking miss. Hey, Jesus.
Yeah, like there needs. I mean, you want to complete a whole set, but yeah, maybe give them a few miss ones that like it cost you a fortune, but actually shit.
Well, for me, before Earthbound became so easily available, I wanted to play it because I heard about it everywhere on these big American YouTube channels. It was like, I want to try that game, but digital wasn't as an accessible thing. So I managed to get a custom cart for PAL territories. It says reproduction on it. It's fake as fuck, but I can play it on the original hardware. I thought that'll do. I've got one for Chrono Trigger as well. The thing is, the Earthbound one now, I'll probably give it to anyone that wants it because, as I say, I've got Earthbound digital everywhere. I don't need this. The Chrono Trigger one, you still can't play Chrono Trigger in so many places, which is stupid as fuck. Especially now they're bringing out Chrono Cross again. It's like, give us Trigger. That's the one everyone bloody wants. So I've still got use for that custom cart. But I see value in custom carts sometimes, as long as they're clearly fake. I don't want it to be a case of someone tries to sell this on eBay claiming it's the real deal when it's not.
There's so many of them, isn't there?
There's far too many. It should say reproduction. I'm fine with it if it says that. I mean, there's one here. It's called Earthbound Uncut, and it's fake as all balls. The sticker's wrong. It's still going for too much, 42 fucking quid. But that's a lot down from over 1,000.
Just get a SNES Mini, and it's got it on there already. Like, and loads of other games too.
Annoyingly, SNES Minis now are harder to get than ever, I think. I mean, what is a SNES Mini go for? I don't know. While I'm looking for that, you say you're a big fan of the mini consoles. One, I'm jealous you have. You have the Famicom Mini, don't you?
Yeah, well, flipping hell, man. Here's a story. Here's a fucking story.
Oh, go on then.
I went to New York, and when I go to foreign countries, there's another little thing I like to do about video collecting. When I go to a foreign country, I have to pick up a game, keep the receipt, keep the business card, and all that sort of thing. Put it in the box. So I've got kind of like little souvenir / game from my past, all combined into one. Pretty cool little thing to do. But I went to New York, to a place called Video Games New York, and I saw the Famicom Mini, and for some fucking reason I sold my Famicom I got from Japan. The biggest mistake I've ever made. Seriously, if the person is listening at the moment on here that has my Famicom, I'll pay a lot to get that back. But I bought the Famicom Mini from New York, and it cost me $300, and then there was tax onto it as well. $300.
$300. Fuck me. You know what? I don't know what a Famicom Mini goes for. Sod the SNES Mini. I think you can still get one for like 70 quid, but it will be pre-owned. You won't find a new one for that.
Famicom Mini was about 70 quid. But I was drunk. And then at the time, I just thought, screw it, I get it. And then I got it, and I was like, yeah! And I did a little unboxing underneath the Ghostbusters tower.
Nice. Yeah. It would appear that you can get a Famicom Mini console for much the same price, 70 quid. So you paid out the arse for that.
I paid out a stupid amount of money for it. And then I bought a few other things from Video Games New York as well. Another time I went, and paid a ridiculous amount. I think I paid like $300 and something for the NES 3DS, which is a bit more expensive, the NES 3DS.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
Oh wait, was it
ridiculous.
NES 3DS or was it the SNES one? Was it look like a Super Nintendo? Or...
Oh no, it was the NES one. I thought it looked horrible. To be fair, it looked disgusting, but I got it and then sold it. Like the thing of me, man, is like I love it. I love this stuff, but I have a trouble holding on to it for some reason.
Well, with the mini consoles, then, do you have basically the TurboGrafx 16 / PC Engine Mini?
No, I don't have that. No, because I didn't grow up with that.
So because there's no nostalgia, you have no interest in trying stuff.
Well, no, I do, because I've tried Earthbound, I've tried Castlevania 1, and I love those. And I call those games now kind of like a part of my history, even though it wasn't, which is strange.
So you would stick to a console, but you wouldn't venture out to try new ones, maybe?
I have done in the past, but nothing really grabs me. I feel like my childhood was the thing that really gave me this emotional attachment to these games, whereas now I find it a little bit harder. There's so many distractions in today's world, Netflix and just general life and stuff, that it's hard to sort of like get something to grasp you, a game to grasp you like it did in the past. Like literally, if you bought a game or rented a game or something, like it's your weekend. Boom, there you go. You're not going out. You're not doing anything. You're playing with this game, which has 3 lives, no continues, and you're stuck with it. And in that time, you build up a real thing with it. What would you say? Like kind of like this.
It's like a relationship with a I don't know, a fake adventure, I guess.
Yeah, it's like going on an adventure. And it was the 80s, 90s back then, so there wasn't really a huge amount left for us to do. So it's kind of like, here's your adventure for the weekend. Try and save the princess or kill do whatever it is you do in the game.
Yeah,
and in that time, it's like, that was amazing. That was so good. And you go for walks, you do stuff with your parents, and you're thinking about that game and how to be like Mario 3, for example. When that came out, that was just, it's like taking the first GTA and then the sequel is GTA 5. It's just so amazing, that game for me. And I suppose with you, a game that was like that for you would have been, what was it?
I'm not telling you. I want to see.
What is it?
Come on.
Shit. Here's where everyone gets pissed off. I'm not a very good gamer person. I don't. I only know what I grew up with, and I didn't grow up with Master System. I'm sorry.
Have you got a picture of it in your head?
I have.
What's it look like?
The little thing.
Is
this little boy?
A little boy, Alex Kidd.
Alex Kidd, that's the one. Alex Kidd 3 is the best one, isn't it?
There isn't a 3 as such. They weren't numbered. There's Alex Kidd in Miracle World, which is the one that was built into the Master System too. So everyone for Master System had played that. There's Alex Kidd in Shinobi World, which is an incredibly awesome game. I have no nostalgia for it, so I recognize it as a good game. It plays well. It's not for me. Plus, I don't fucking like Shinobi. So that's not one aimed at me. The other 2 Alex Kidd games are just crap. They're not even worth mentioning. But
really,
unfortunately, Alex Kidd pretty much died after he came out on Mega Drive. No, that's not true. He was later re-released on other stuff. What am I on about? This doesn't matter. Okay, I've completely gone off the rails now. We're on about you and mini consoles. So let's circle back around to that. You're happy if you can play a mini console. Do you play them that much then?
I do. I love them.
Really?
Just link it up to the TV, and it's my fix. Like, I've got this game now. I've got it in the box. I've got this one. I probably won't really get around to playing that much because I don't even have a Super Nintendo. I buy these games for, like, it sounds so lame, but like an artistic thing, because like, if we keep on opening the box, taking the game out, opening the box, taking the game out, eventually it's all going to fucking fall apart in time,
Well, it will if it's Nintendo, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of like, it's just nice to have something as a complete unit. And I don't feel so guilty about doing that now and not playing the game, now that we've got so many things to play, like the mini consoles and the retro pies and emulation and all this sort of thing. We can play them. We're not holding any of this from someone, but I am sort of like keeping it preserved as a collector's piece, as a sort of a historic piece that I can show people later. This is how games were packaged back in the day. They weren't floating around in cyberspace. This is how we got them. And I think that's kind of like a a pretty cool thing. But the mini consoles, yeah, I play them all the time. And it's, yeah, like I say, when I get a game through the post, I'm like, let's play it. And I play it on the mini console.
So, what do you think of let's see, the NES Mini? Have you noticed much lag in that? Do you find yourself crapper playing games on that nowadays than you used to be back with the original?
Well, I'm pretty crap at playing games anyway, but not really. I don't really, because we were talking about CRTs the other day and flat screens, and I don't
Yeah.
really. How bad is it? How bad is it that I don't notice a difference?
The NES Mini, the others aren't so bad, but the NES Mini has such a lag on it. If you play Mario, and let's say, okay, there's that jump near the very start of the game where you can jump up, you're running along, you know where to jump to hit that invisible block, to hit that life. You know exactly where to jump. It's just second nature. You jump there. In the NES Mini, you'll do that jump. It'll jump a second later. You might end up going down that fucking pit next to it.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I think you're actually right, because I remember playing it. Excuse me, and I remember jumping and going, "This feels a little bit unresponsive."
Yeah, the NES Mini, honestly, it's great for your RPGs. It's great for various other games like that. But if it's a platformer, I think it's shit because the reaction time is off.
I went to the Boiler Room and they had like a retro gaming evening on. They had all the consoles lined up. I'm not sure if you've been to that.
You invited me one time. I couldn't make it.
All right, Boiler Room in Guildford. They got retro gaming stuff on. Go and check it out. But yeah, I remember playing Mario Bros. 1 on the original hardware on a CRT and with the original computer and all that sort of thing, and it did actually feel good. And then I do remember going and playing on my Famicom Mini with the tiny little controller, and remember it being a little bit delayed. I know what you're saying now. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly, the next time you end up being around here, I'm going to set up the damn Mini because I have a CRT next to a modern television. So you could have the Mini going and you could have the genuine article, you know, all the original hardware. I'd say do level 1 CRT, see how you do. Then I'd say do level 1 the Mini. You might die by the fucking first Goomba. You'd be like, what did I do? That guy's never killed me. The others aren't so bad. The Mega Drive Mini has the least amount of lag. It's still a tiny bit. It's tiny. If you play Sonic on the mini console, there's a tiny bit of lag, but you adapt to it after a level or two. You get used to it. Mario on the NES Mini, no. I know people that they say they can complete Punch Out no matter what. They're that good. Well, oh, fair play. Have you tried on the Mini? And they're like, nah, it can't be done. It's bollocks.
I just feel like I'm not really that good a game player for it to affect me too much, because I just sort of pick up and go, it's Mario Brothers or it's Mario 3. I'm not good enough to notice like millisecond lags sort of thing. So it's like I just learn to adjust when playing a game, you know what I mean?
Well, I remember one time we were playing Mario 3 on the original hardware, and you would jump and you would always get the fucking star as your token at the end of a level, you know.
Yeah.
Do you find that when you're playing the NES Mini, you're like, bastard, I got the mushroom?
Do you know, I'm gonna you have to run, make the little noise, and you have to run and hit the corner, the left-hand corner of the stuff.
You've got to time that just right, haven't you?
Yeah, I've just run like the clappers and then hit the left-hand corner of the thing, and you always get the star, man. You always get it.
You later on have got to put on your NES Mini and see how that does, because you might hate me for this. You might say, fuck you, Tom, you've ruined the Mini for me now.
Yeah,
but on the plus side,
I love those things. I swear those things were made for me, man. I love that sort of stuff, like little compact, mini systems. You can just hide away, and I love them, man. I think they're so cool, and you can mod them as well, which is even more cool.
Yeah, I've got 2 PlayStation Minis. Everyone says I should mod one. It's like, I'll get round to it. I know I never will. I should, but I'm a crap person.
I mean, the modding on the PS1 is like you have to use a big sort of USB stick popping out the side of it. It just looks shite.
Meh.
Yeah.
Its appearance is a bit meh anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, video game collecting.
Well, I think we covered an important topic. Like, rather than collect stuff, could you be satisfied with just the digital aspect of it? You're absolutely fine with it. Me, I'm weird. I've got it. I've got the Mega Drive Mini. I've got the SNES Mini, NES Mini, PlayStation Mini. I don't have the TurboGrafx, whatever you want to call it, Mini. Don't have Famicom Mini or any Japanese variation on any of the others. But I've got them, but I don't play them. I would only play them for games like Earthbound because it's just the best way to do it, or Mega Man Wily Wars. That game costs a stupid amount of money. It's an awesome game. Sega's provided us with a digital-ish way to play it, so I'm going to take full advantage of that. But aside from some rare games that are a pain in the ass to pay out for otherwise, it's not my go-to source. I love having the old school hardware. I've got CRTs in my fucking house. Let's see, how many CRTs have I got? In the loft, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 fucking CRTs in my house.
That's pretty damn freaking cool, man.
I could literally stack them on top of each other and make an old school Sega commercial.
You should do that. You should definitely do that.
Have you tried lifting one of the buggers? It'll fuck you back up.
But yeah, I mean, like with video game collecting now, for me, it's just I'm just a little bit more concerned about kind of like how I'm going to get these games that I have to get. Like, I can't not be video game collecting if I don't have a copy of Super Metroid. But
you need that's one you need, is it?
I need it. I need it. I've got to have it. It's like when I think Super Nintendo, it's like that's kind of like one of the first things that pops in, or Mega Man X, or Castlevania 4. Like, why are the games I want the most all so flipping expensive?
Because everyone else wants them. I'm lucky I'm in a situation where I collect Master System, which is not a popular heavy hitter, and I love obscure shit. I mean, I showed you Japanese Chrono Trigger. No bugger wants Japanese Chrono Trigger, but I love having that. That's an awesome thing to have.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool to have, man.
I've got here's one. I'm showing this to Bill. If I remember, I'll do a snapshot of this and put it on the podcast. This is a Japanese game that Tom of Do You Nerd sent me. I have no fucking clue what it is. I'm going to do a video relating to Japanese Game Boy games soon, and this one will be covered on it. But what's really cool about it is this is the Japanese version of a Game Boy Color box. It's not the same shape as our ones. It's incredibly colorful. It looks really cool. It just makes you think this is a nice thing to have in a collection. I don't even care if this game is playable. Looking on the back, it looks like it's got a lot of text. I don't think I'm going to be able to get anywhere in it. But I love having that little thing. I mean, hell, I've got a Japanese Super Famicom golf game from you.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
I don't remember what it's called. I don't think I ever knew.
I remember walking around Japan and stuff. I'll go into these stores and all that sort of thing. And seriously, man, in Japan, it's just like video games everywhere, man. Like, I was in Akihabara, which is like
Akihabara, yeah.
Akihabara, I can't pronounce it right. But like I was there for a little bit, and I went to Super Potato and Trader 7 and a few other places, and literally, like, you find the weirdest flipping games out there. Like, I was like, you just find the cartridge, and the cartridge had like these horses on it, like 4 horses, and I was like, what the hell is this about? And I was like, is this like some sort of racehorsing game? And the guy's like, no. What the fuck is it then?
I would love that. I would love to go to Japan, be in that element. I would buy so much crap, and a lot of it would turn out to be pure unplayable crap. But I wouldn't get rid of any of it.
Tom, if you went, you would need a separate plane to fill with crap.
I know, the suitcase alone. Everyone says, "Oh, make sure you're buying a spare suitcase." Dude, that won't be enough.
No, it's literally like heaven on earth for you, mate. You've got to go sometime.
I want to. Unfortunately, I'm poor. I'm never ahead of the curve when it comes to money.
Oh man, do it. You'll love it.
Actually, that makes me laugh. For the first time in maybe a year, I'm starting to get on top of things financially. And of all the things to happen, electricity costs go through the fucking roof. Oh my God. Man, out of all the things, now it's something I can't even get away from. I have to have fucking electricity.
Yeah. And your house probably uses a load of electricity with all the stuff you got on.
Yeah, tell me about it. We're lucky we're on a meter so we can keep close tabs on it. Mike Retro Gamer Boy the other day said how his bill was £80 a month, which is quite good. because he's in the same boat as me. He's got a ton of shit plugged in all the time. And now it's going to go up to 300, from 80 to 300 a month. Fuck.
It's like Super Metroid of electricity.
Yeah, he'll be getting a Super Metroid every fucking month.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's terrible. I really hope that changes before the year's out. I know it will stick around for a while, but this is what I meant, people, about us going off rambling. It's very hard for me and Bill to keep to a structure. He said at the start, have you taken down notes? I'm like, what's the fucking point? We'll forget the notes are there.
Yeah. But sometimes it is nice just to ramble and chat and talk. And who knows, like, what other things we might say. And so, you know what, that little ramble could actually be quite good for something else you could talk about later on in more depth, you know, that sort of thing. So kind of like, it's good to ramble. It's always, you know, stay outside the box a little bit.
It's a podcast. I think there's always a bit of rambling in any good podcast. But that doesn't mean I will stray away from the topic at hand. So with game collecting, we've covered many things about the insane cost of things. We've covered the alternatives to how to do it. I mean, Bill plays the games, but he gets the physical ones really as trophies, memorabilia, nice bits of nostalgia to have. I mean, I bet you kick yourself for selling so many of them,
Yeah, right, like zombies.
Yeah, that's good for me, though. Do you remember the other thing you sold me?
I sold you yeah, that was really cool. I got that in Brighton. That was like a Mega Drive collector's case, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's stashed away at the moment, so the name of it forgets me, and I think it might have been Genesis rather than Mega Drive.
Genesis, like storage something.
Yeah,
it was so cool though, and it was in a box, and I was like, "It's a box for a box."
It looks like an 80s music system with a plastic cover lid. You take the lid off or flip it up, I forget. There's your Mega Drive, slots for games, slots for controllers. It's the sex. It's a beautiful looking thing. Yeah, when you said you were selling it, it was like, I didn't even know this fucking existed.
I know, nor did I. Nor did I.
I was very happy to buy that off you. When you were showing me all these games, so many great games, like, I haven't brought enough money. Fuck.
I think I was pretty fair with my prices, though. I was just getting out, sort of thing.
The missus, I thought she'd be angry at me. She was only angry at me because she says you were supposed to steal the dog. Oh yeah, I was. She wants your dog, mate. She wants Wilson.
Get your own dog.
No, I don't want a dog yet. I'm trying to get rid of the fucking kids. What age can they move out legally?
It's like 30 now, isn't it?
If you know what, I shit you not, being on a building site, you get a lot of young laborers and they don't last very long. They're around for like a few months. They realize it's too hard, so they don't come in and they end up getting sacked from not showing up to work. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
What makes me laugh is some of them are very near 30 and they still live with mum and dad.
Is this the point where we say back in my day?
Yes, because
we say
here we are. Get ready. Back in my day, when I moved out, I moved out when I was 18, and I shit you not, I honestly thought at the time, that's a bit sad. I should have moved out when I was 17. 18's old. This is a bit sad. So when people would ask, what age did you move out? I was like, 17. You know, I'd lie. It's one fucking year. Yeah. But now the average moving out is 30. It's like, that's bloody pot. My kids don't stand a chance. How old are you? 16? Good. Fuck off. I'm not keeping them around for that long. They'd have to pay a true mega rent to cover that shit.
I left my house at 19, I think. I think it was 19 I left. So
that's sad.
Yeah, sad part. Yeah.
There's another example of that rambling, everybody.
Yes. What are we talking about again? Video game collecting? What's that?
Yes, video games. Shut up. Fucking hell. So here's a interesting thing I've heard some other people cover when they go on about game collecting. When it comes to cartridges, as we said, they last a lot longer than discs. Would you say there's not a lot of chance of people in the future becoming diehard collectors for PS4 like there is Mega Drive and Super Nintendo?
You know, I think that's a very interesting question. And like, I've thought about this as well. Like, is there going to be an emotional attachment to these games? That I just don't think there will be. Games are like films now. They're just I just don't think they can hold nostalgia. Like there was so much imagination when you played games back in the day. Like what's that big blob flying towards me? And it's sort of like you had to. There was something about, and also there was so little distractions then. Like I said before, it's kind of like a game would be your whole weekend, and you'll get invested into it, and you'll try and find out cheats for it, and you talk about it with your mates at school, and they'd have a copy, and oh wow, you're at this part, and it would just there was so many more stories and love with it. Whereas now you have Netflix, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything, stuff on TV, and then video games as well, and then your phone in your hand, and it's just like there's too much distractions. I just don't think nostalgia is going to be a big part of video games in the future.
Yeah, it's really there at the touch of a button, thanks to everything being digital. But I had this thought a little while ago. It's like, how nostalgic am I for disc games? And I thought PS1 games, I've had these games all my life, so that's not fair. The discs I have are the discs I had then. It's the same with PS2. PS3, not so much. So I thought to myself, all right, ignore 1 and 2 for PlayStation. Don't count as for reasons just explained. But PS3, I thought, let's find one where I give a shit about the disc. And I could only find one. Only one game. And it was Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Oblivion. There's 2 reasons for that. One, that game was there for me at a very difficult time. I won't go into the detail of that because it's quite intense and I've never covered it. But in the game case, you get a map of the world, and you get one for Skyrim, but Skyrim has been re-released so many fucking times. I keep thinking it's modern when it's really not. It's over 10 years old. But Oblivion, you get that map, and it's a really cool thing to have with the case. And it made me realize that maybe part of the reason why I'm such a big fan of indie games is because of the way I collect them. Indie games, if I can, I go out my way to get them on the Switch as opposed to PS4. And that's because on the Switch, sometimes the case will come with a booklet or some artwork. Like I've got Hollow Knight on the Switch. It came with this really cool, really fucking tiny, but really cool booklet with artwork and all sorts. And it came with a key ring.
See, that's cool. That's really cool.
Go out and get a PS4 and a PS5 game. What do you get in the case?
Nothing.
You get the disc and fuck all. It's like you're not giving me anything to be nostalgic about.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of like I actually did a little video today that I haven't released yet, and it was just talking about kind of like I was looking through the Mario 64 and how thick the booklet was. I mean, I know like there's it's broken down to other languages, so it's going to be but like there's just so much to get excited about. I mean, looking through manuals and stuff and seeing kind of like what awaits you, the bad guys you're going to be facing, and this sort of thing, and what they do, and how many hit points it takes to kill them, and that sort of thing, just gave you so much mystery behind a game. You think like, wow, this is going to be really good, and you'd see it, and you go, and it's just there's just something about like retro game playing for me against the modern.
Oh yeah, I think manuals were so much more than shitty little instructions of how to play a game. Like, as I say, my 2 things I love to collect for, I collect a lot of crap, but I love collecting mainly for Game Boy and Master System. The Game Boy, their booklets were colorful. They held great, interesting facts, little bonus bullshit about characters. They are great booklets. Unfortunately, because the cases tended to be thrown away by, let's face it, all of us, I've got very few of them, and that sucks. Master System, I want the game in the case, and I don't care about the booklet at all. There's 2 reasons. One, the booklet affects the price insanely so. It really does raise it. But also, the booklet in Master System games tends to be wank. It's all white with blueprint. There's no color. There's never any color. It's blue on white. And most of the time, you'll be lucky to get any additional pictures, and it's just normally the text. Obviously, with games like Phantasy Star, maybe Sonic. I think Sonic shows pictures of the badniks, which is really cool. So that's a nice one to have. And luckily, because it's a cheap game, you're not breaking your bank having that. But there's so many other times when you think this game is an incredibly expensive shmup shooter. It's like it might have a picture of a couple of ships, but aside from that, bollocks. Take the cheaper route and say nuts to the booklet, find a version without. I mean, look at Earthbound early. We found one that appeared to not have the booklet. It was £500. We found one with It was going for £1,000 more.
Yeah, £1,000 more for a booklet.
Yeah, the booklet is essentially what's making it £1,000 more. And you think all right, name me a Super Nintendo game you've recently got with all of the stuff.
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. So that, obviously, Zelda would have a really nice booklet with a ton of cool stuff. If it didn't have the booklet, how much cheaper do you think it would be?
Oh, I think it would knock at least. I don't know. It's hard to say. It would knock a big chunk of it off. But there is one thing actually that I'm missing from it. There's the hints and secrets, the little black thing it comes with. Do you know that? It's literally like a little tiny piece of paper that folds out into like 3 sections.
Oh, there it is. I've just looked online because I wanted to prove my point. There's a Zelda Top Secrets little card with a sleeve. No, it's a sleeve with something in it.
Yeah, okay. That's it. And that's normally it's not in that, so it's really hard to find copies with that in with it as well.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way then. Here's I have now in front of me Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past for Super Nintendo. Its average price when it's just a fucking cartridge is around 35 quid.
Yep.
With the box in good condition, because it's Super Nintendo and it's cardboard, it's harder to get it in good condition. So the price is more expensive than, say, a Sega one with a plastic case, which is generic as fuck, and the sleeve, which is, the sleeve is the thing, but it's kept good by the box. Anyway, loose cartridge, 30, 35. With box, 100. Would you like to know what it costs with the booklet and everything else?
Well, I paid 120 for my version, but I was haggling with the guy back and forth, and I managed to get down to 120 from 190. So I managed to get like a fair bit off.
That is a good deal, because there's one here. It has that top secrets thing, though, I'll admit. 250.
Yeah, I mean, Zelda goes for stupid prices. Like anything Zelda goes crazy.
But this is what you think of when it comes to collecting. You are given, essentially, you give yourself 3 options when it comes to saying, right, I'm going to buy the physical one. I'm not going to get digital. I want physical. So I can have just the cartridge, £30. I want it to be with the box, £100. I want to have everything, 250 quid. It's like, is it insane?
I mean, I think
choose the £250 one over the fucking 30 quid one when it's the same bloody cartridge there.
I think it's idiots like me that is the reason that, because I end up just getting drunk on a payday and just going, fuck it, and just pressing buy it now, and then waking up the next day and going, I really wish I didn't I wish I hadn't done that. And like,
if I did that, we'd be living on the street. But then again,
I mean, it's only a matter of time before payday's coming in a week or so, and I reckon I'm gonna bite the bullet with Super Metroid, and I'm gonna be one of these douchebags that pays a ridiculous amount of money to get a game that they wanted and in good nick. And
you probably will. Yeah, I got something for you. This will make you laugh. I've just stumbled across this. This is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Super Nintendo. Box and everything. This is sealed. This has never been opened. It's been graded. It's been
here we go.
Yeah, graded by what they call Wata or Wat. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. The people that grade games. It's been officially fucking graded. This is the genuine article. Guess how much sealed Zelda goes for?
I mean, you tell me, because I'm gonna say a stupid.
No. Say stupid. Go for it.
It's going to be ridiculous, like 25 grand.
You're very close. It's £30,000.
Oh my God.
£30,000. So even though you put in a stupid number, you were still £5 off. So £30,000. Yeah.
Imagine being that guy. I mean, like,
or you can get the fucking £30 one.
Oh God. I mean, do you know that game Blood? That game Blood?
Yes, you did a big video on it before, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I bought that about 6-7 months ago, maybe longer, maybe it is a year ago. But I bought Blood, and that was 350 quid.
That's a PC game, isn't it?
Yeah, 350 quid. But it's so hard to get it. It's so hard. And I saw one in mint condition, and I was like, "Fuck it!" You know,
Oh dear.
it comes up so rarely.
Is it
And
just called Blood, or is it short
it's
for
called
something?
Blood. I think that they've changed the name of it now when they released it on Steam to Blood Fresh Supply. Because
Okay.
blood is a bit. But this is the thing: like you type blood on eBay.
Yeah, I've come up with everything. Blood Omen, great game. Back for Blood.
What I do is put in Blood PC 1997, and then that's usually what comes up. I
Let's
mean,
try that
I
then.
think disc only was like 80 quid or something like that at one point.
I'm
It's got
really giving it a go, and I'm not finding. Oh no, wait! Blood DOS PC CD-ROM. It's the cover a handprint.
Yeah, that's the American version. The version that
Oh,
I want, the one with the gargoyle, and that's the UK print or the European.
I can only find
That's
the
the one I like.
American one.
Yeah,
Oddly
it's
enough.
even the American one's quite pricey.
Yeah,
But
that's well, fuck, I've gone past it now. Bastard. 200. It's just shy of 200.
yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Like,
That's
yeah,
a
the
PC
UK
game. What
version.
the fuck?
Yeah, and Duke Nukem as well. That was expensive. And Doom 2, I bought Doom 2 recently, and that was flipping expensive.
Wow, you're made of megabucks. I'll have to hang out
Well,
with you more often. Actually, Rob was saying today, the only reason why I haven't found any games is I didn't have you with me to sniff them out. I think he was fucking right and all. I said, well, he's meant to be here with his mates. I'm looking around going, where is that fucking
I will
cunt?
be there next week. I tell you what, for next week, let's make another collaboration type video of us
I would
going
love
around.
to. I don't know if it's on though because it's Easter Sunday.
Ah, right, okay.
So I'll look into it, but as it stands right now, I don't know.
Well, we should do some videos of going on like a few road trips or something. Do some road trip videos.
Me and Rob have often said one day we're going to set out to do 2 or 3 car boot sales because there's one in Farnborough, opens later than the one we normally go to. It's a £5 admission, but I've been in there before, and I'll tell you something, you do get stuff of a higher quality. It's like if it costs more to get in, it's as if they say, don't come here to sell your buggered dishes and knackered pots because, my God, let's face it, we love Nut Hill Farm car boot sale, but there's a lot of crap crockery floating about, isn't there?
There is.
And
I mean, there's a lot of Nazi memorabilia as well. What's that about?
We saw it again. There's this thing that Bill nearly bought for a giggle, just a giggle. There's a little wooden head. How do I put it? Ornament. Fuck it, ornament. It's Hitler, and he's got a hand out in the Hell fucking thing. And you were like, why is that a thing? Why does that exist? Why is that here? I feel like buying it.
What is it doing there?
What do you mean you feel like buying it? Like, I don't know. What are you going to do? Just put it on the fucking fireplace, and then the missus gets home and goes, oh, what's that? It'd be a great joke, but you've just missed April Fools. So
yeah, it was a bit odd with all that stuff there. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, really odd.
There is a lot of Nazi memorabilia. But then again, as I think I said at the day, where else are you going to sell that shit?
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
So there you are for collecting. If you want to collect Nazi memorabilia, go to the car boot sale.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think like with car boot sales and stuff for the future, I just don't think we're gonna find video games anymore. I mean, we might there'll be people like I just feel like the people that have vast collections, the last thing they're going to do is take it down the car boot sale. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be eBay or specialist sites or anything like that. It's not going to be the car boot sale. And I just think that I just feel like everything that people, you know, if like for example, like if someone's had something stashed away, like I just feel like it's all I feel like it's all been picked up now and put into the hands of collectors.
Here's a good example, and this will have to be the last thing for tonight, I'm afraid. But today, all I got was some random obscure DS games, but I saw about 1 million different copies of fucking FIFA.
Yeah.
You name it, I saw it. FIFA this on Xbox, FIFA that on PS3, FIFA this on fucking everything. It was a joke. It was a real joke. It's like FIFA forever.
I think like it's because with FIFA games, when a new one comes out, the one before you can't really play anymore. Is that right?
It is because of that, but it's also because game stores give it no value. I went into Game once, which, if you're American, Game is our equivalent of GameStop. Yes, I know it's terrible. It's literally called Game, but it's a fucking thing. Anyway, I went into a store one day. I said, I'll have that game there. You got your card? Yeah, there you are, sir, and all this, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, would you be interested in one of these games down here? And I have a look, and I've gone, they're FIFA, mate. So no, not only that, it's last year's FIFA. He's like, yes, but did you see the price? No. Picked it up. This is a brand new game, still wrapped in cellophane. Year before FIFA, 10p.
What?
I was like, really? He's like, FIFA drops incredibly quick in value. As soon as the new one's out, all FIFA fans shift. So I think it's the fan base more than anything. The fan base for FIFA instantly moves to the next one, forgets about the old one.
So would you reckon that, so if they all get 10p, did you get your investment thinking cap on and think, right, 10p, I'll buy 10 copies for £1, put them in the attic, and who knows?
No, do you know why?
Why?
I went to the car boot one day and I found one guy with 30 copies of the same FIFA on the same console. And I went, mate, what the fuck? And he said, I thought it was an investment. I was wrong. I was like, how much did you spend? Oh, we don't talk about that. He wouldn't tell me. So it definitely got a worse deal than 10 fucking p.
Oh my God.
FIFA fans move on instantly and they do not look back. Metroid fans move on, but they look back all the damn time. Yeah. You're evidence of that. And that must be the way with so many things. It's all about the fan base. And I once went to a house party for a friend of mine. My friend, he's a sporty guy. He's not a big gamer. He likes games. He has the current console at any given time, but he's a FIFA gamer. Anyway, all of the lads there were having a few drinks, and he says, "Oh, everyone play. I'll see if you can take me." And then everyone goes, "Oh, Tom, it's your turn." No, fuck off. I've got no interest. No, go on. You got to play. You're good at games, and yeah, I'm like, I don't FIFA. I don't even know how to pass the fucking ball. So
I think
rather than play, I said, I tried to bring up conversation. I said, what's everyone's nostalgic FIFA? And I said, graphics aside, I said, graphics don't count. And like, graphics always count. Like, that must be a big thing to FIFA gamers. But I said, forget graphics. One that's important to you. And it was interesting. I had FIFA 97, PS1. A lot of people were saying ones like FIFA 14. Apparently, that was just a fucking good FIFA, really well made. And I remember saying, all right, what's the worst FIFA? Everyone in the room simultaneously. FIFA 13. Look, wow, they fucked that one up then.
But I think the last football game I played was like International Superstar Soccer, or like what was the one on Mega Games 1? Football Italia 90.
You've seen a million.
Oh yeah,
as well with the FIFA. But
20.
Actually, you've just reminded me of something else. The last football game I played was FIFA, but it was the first one because at that same house party, I said, "All right, what's the first FIFA then?" Everyone looked around; they didn't know. So I looked it up online. It was a Mega Drive game. I was like, "Oh, now you're talking." I bought a copy in fantastic condition for £1.97 on eBay.
Good Lord.
When it came through the post, I got my mate Dave, who was the, hot shit player there. I said, come on in, let's have a go. I stand a chance here. There's 3 buttons. I beat him, which left him like, nah. I did not lose a FIFA game to Tom. I'm like, you lost the game to me. I've never even played FIFA. The funny thing is, this is really sad, but when I scored the first goal, I went, hang about. Ain't I blue? He's gone, nah. No, I am, and that's your goal, the ball's going. No, it ain't. And it's not an own goal. He's like, shut up, Tom. Like, did I score a goal against you? Nah. Like, fuck me, I scored a goal. And he's like, nah. He's going into shock. It was fucking hilarious.
So if we're ending this soon, I've got one last question to end.
Go for it.
Is basically, where do we see this going in the future? Do we see Super Nintendo prices going sky high, continuing to go high to astronomical prices, or is it going to drop? Is it going to plummet? Are PS2 games and 3 and 4 and 5 in the future, are they going to climb? What do you reckon is going to happen, Tom?
Well, I've I've been following this sort of thing for quite a while, since maybe 2015. That's when I took an interest in prices as a whole going around. Everyone said for the longest time NES had it had plateaued. It had hit how high it was going to get. And it kind of did. The rarest of rare games still went up in price, but the average rare games, they had kind of hit the mark. They sort of stayed there, stayed stupid money, but they weren't getting higher. And now PS2 games, the rare ones, are going up in value. As you've seen with so many other games, they're going up in value. It's like everyone was convinced retro game collecting was a fad that was going to pass. And you do see a lot of people selling their collections. They got into it, they collected too quick, then they sold it. I've seen it happen a lot of times. But despite the fact that people are doing that, the prices still are not going down. Do I think people will collect for PS4 and PS5 in the same manner? No, but that's simply because digital is such a bigger thing with that stuff. It's like the people who would collect it wouldn't give a fuck about physical or digital. They would go for the cheapest because it's about the game, which is kind of the way it should be in a sense, because the game's what's important. But then again, you got people out there, it's like the choice of the 30 Zelda game, the 200 Zelda game, or the whatever the fuck it was, I forget, but it was stupidly expensive. So
yeah, I mean, my take on it is basically Atari, that sort of stuff, Atari, Commodore, stuff.
That's burnt out a bit. Yeah,
I don't think that's gonna jump in price again. I think if it would have hit, it would have done it already. You know.
I think the rarest of the games will, but that's because there's always some dick out there that's got that rarest game, and he knows eventually he'll find someone that will spend through the nose. Yeah. But aside from that, no, nothing else is going to go up.
But Nintendo, NES, Super Nintendo, N64, Game Boy, that's always something I think is going to climb. I always think it's going to climb up. Mega Drive has always been fairly affordable, kind of. It has been creeping up a little bit. Certain games, though.
Retro Gamer Boy would disagree with you greatly. Yeah. The price of them games is going up a lot. Master System,
really?
Annoyingly, the Master System games are going up in price. But like, there's one game called Danan the Jungle Bastard or whatever he is. I wanted that game for a long time. I was an idiot and thought I'd wait for it to go down. And it went 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I ended up getting my copy for 45 because it was the best I could get anywhere. And I thought I shouldn't wait like that again. That was a bad move. But while I've done that and it was 45, which is dick, Mike's doing it for Mega Drive. And his problem is 80, 120, 180, 300. And he's like, oh, fucking Christ. It's
so bad.
Mega Drive, honestly, while it's a different entity to Super Nintendo, I would say its prices are only a little bit less.
Yeah, I think it's with Mega Drive. It's kind of like certain games are ridiculous, whereas others aren't bad at all. Like, for example, Sonic 2, I got that for £9 in good nick, manual, everything. Sonic 1, a fiver, So you can get a good library of games on the Mega Drive for not that much, but it's where you want to get into like your Pro Protectors or Contras and like your...
Yeah, you're buggered then.
Or what's
that game... Salil I got very lucky. I got it for 30, 35 quid. Mike, Retro Gamer Boy, is still trying to get hold of a copy. Now that has gone over £300.
Like Castlevania Bloodlines, I think I saw that going for £500 and it had a watcher. And I was like, oh my God, man.
My one is it's new generation over here. I've got the case in the game. I don't have the booklet. But I bought it a few years ago, and I think that was similar with Salil. It was in the £30 region. It was somewhere around there. Very
expensive now.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Mega Drive, certain games really do push it up. There's another game, I can't remember what it was. Mushu on the Mega Drive.
Yeah, that I'll never be able to play that.
No, that's mental, that one. But the thing is, though, what is really fun, Tom, and what we should do is we should go out on little hunts to obscure places and try and see if we can find these games for next to nothing, which are worth so much.
If you think of a place, let me know, and we'll do a video road trip one day. We'll just go, right, today we're off out. We'll pick one car to go in, and we'll see what we find, if anything.
I think that'd be really cool because the thing is for me, like I love these games and I'm pretty sure I can get them, but it's kind of like with video game collecting, I only have so much I want to get, so I might as well spend the time looking. And if I can fail, I can fail, I can fail, I can fail. But it's kind of like when I get it for a good price in a good nick, then that's going to be kind of like amazing, you know.
Oh yeah,
That's kind of like
I'm
what
in a
doing
similar
now.
sense. It's best to be patient, and that's why so many people that have got their collections quick are selling them. It's like you fucked yourself. There's been no enjoyment. You have not enjoyed the hunt. You've just been trying to get to the end result. I probably will never get every Master System game, but I'm enjoying getting closer, if you know what I mean. So
recently, I went to Brighton to get a game, and I did a little vlog filming it all, so I could remember kind of like how I got these games, sort of thing. And at the end, it's a bit weird, but I put a stone in in the box to remember kind of like the trip I made to Brighton. So when I play the game, a stone will roll out. Like, oh yeah, that came from Brighton. That one. I've got like the receipt and like the business card and that sort of thing.
I'm guessing an explanation for people that don't know Brighton Beach, everyone, is not a sand beach, it's stones.
Yep.
There's not one grain of fucking sand there. It's all stones. It's perfect if you want to have a sit down at the beach and be in agonizing pain. But I think we should probably end that tonight because we've been going for well over an hour. And I'm going to edit this shit. So.
Oh shit. Well, it's been a privilege, Tom. Thank you so much for having me on again.
Thank you for coming back for a chat. I look forward to doing the same again with another topic. I would say to everyone, if there's a topic you want covered by me and Bill, let us know, put in the comments. Thank you very much for listening to this today or watching it on YouTube. Please like, comment, subscribe. Bill's channel is in the description. Games Made of Cardboard. You got to see some of the stuff he's done. I mean, he makes every other YouTuber's editing look like dog shit, and that includes me. So
steady now.
It's honest. I know I'm giving you a big head. You're going to fall over in a minute from the gravity of it. But thank you very much, everyone, for listening to this today. Please check out other episodes in the 16 Bitchin' podcast, and we will see you next time.
Bye.